Hello listeners, and welcome to Let's Chat, one of a many an episode where we have a guest speaker sharing their amazing journey towards a better way of being through a teaching, a practice, or from a passion of helping others through mainstream or complementary healing practices. Today we will be chatting with Tom Paladino. Tom is a scalar energy researcher and healer based in Florida. Scalar energy is the fundamental life force found everywhere in the world, space and universe. It originates from the sun and stars. Think of the terms chi, prana, life force, and you are talking in terms of scalar energy. Scalar light being the life force of the universe. Without it, life would not exist. Tom has developed instruments to harness the scalar light, which he is able to use to improve our human health and our pets' health. Some of the programs that Tom offers includes natural foods program, there's a male and female program, digestive enzyme program, addictive behaviour and chemical detox program. And one that caught my eye was the chakra balancing program. Amongst a few others, there is a wonderful offering of a free 15-day trial, and all you need to do is provide a photo of yourself and let the magic begin. Okay, I am certainly excited to learn more, so let's join the conversation here. Let's chat with Tom Paladino. Hi Tom, and welcome to A Better Way of Being podcast. It's wonderful to have you join the program.
Yeah, good day to you. Pleasure, Sharon. Thanks for the invite.
Awesome. Excellent. Tom, I just loved reading through your website and all the amazing programs that you offer with your scalar energy. Your passion for interpreting the power of the scalar energy and ultimately giving health and well-being to all living things really is just inspiring. Right. And it shows, to me, it shows a total dedication to the planet, which certainly needs healing, and to a better way of being. So I know you were inspired by Nikola Tesla, but what was that driving force behind your journey? What has actually led you to be doing what you're doing now?
That's a great question. God has always given me the ability to help people. That's what I'm doing. I have a God-given gift. It's God's knowledge, and I want to see the world a better place. So scalar energy is a technology that I use, and this technology serves me to improve humanity's welfare, our position.
Yes, excellent. That's fantastic. And how long have you been doing it for?
It's been my lifelong goal. I've been at this now for 50 years, so. Ever since I was a youngster, yes. I wanted to get into this type of research. I saw the merit. Yes. I saw that working with scalar energy, the energy of the sun, is so beneficial to mankind. It's far superior to that of electricity.
Yes, yes. So well, that's interesting. As you said, you've got that God inspiration behind you for the healing of all. Which is amazing, which is just fantastic. And this started as a young kid. What were you doing as a young kid? Did you have an experience with a sick pet, perhaps, or something that says, "What can I do?" This light bulb moment.
That's a great question. I was always a voracious reader, and I was reading about Nikola Tesla as a youngster. And I knew he was on to a different energy paradigm. I knew that Tesla, the greatest mind that I've ever encountered, that he was working with scalar energy later in his career. And I knew that this technology could improve human health, animal health, if you will, and do so many other things. It's free energy from the stars, from the sun. So ever since I read about Tesla and his accomplishments, I said to myself, I could do that. If Tesla can accomplish that, in some way I can accomplish that. And it's been a lot of hard work, but here we are.
Yes. So you would have even been inspired, I guess, through your school years to take perhaps the subjects you're already inspired
Yes.
to bring it all together.
Exactly. So if you will, I customized my academic career so that I could spend more time with Tesla and this branch of physics. And in many ways, a classical education is necessary, but eventually I had to do this on my own, Sharon. Eventually I had to have an independent study in which I pursued a course of study what Tesla did. That's not taught in academia today. So eventually you have to do this on your own. You have to branch off, and you have to be willing enough to experiment and do this on your own.
Yes. And in that itself, it opens up a whole heap of questions for me with, quite the initiative, the innovative entrepreneurial approach at such a young age. And you
Right.
do, with a lot of those things that just aren't out there, aren't already researched, aren't already available, it can be a lonely journey, can't it?
Yes, it is.
And
It is a long journey. You're absolutely right.
yeah,
And why is it? Because you're doing it alone.
yes,
This is groundbreaking research.
yes,
And I have, there's no chagrin with that.
no,
That's easy. That I can work with that and I can accept that. But you have to be willing to work alone, because what I've discovered is indeed a cutting edge. And why is it cutting edge? There's very few people, if any, who've ever gone this far in this field of science. So if you're a cutting edge researcher and you're willing to do it alone for years,
yes,
you'll make progress.
yes. And did you find at times that different people would come onto your path to give you a little prod here, or I'll help there?
Oh yeah, there's many good people. Oh yeah,
Yes,
because people see, they can appreciate an effort, they can appreciate sacrifice. Many people appreciate my effort and my sacrifice, and they realize that this is a goal that I had in mind.
yes,
Most people are very supportive.
excellent.
Yeah.
That has been good, because sometimes when you've got this idea that's not out there, it can even have, I don't know, because you had this passion from such a young age that when there's nothing else in that field, there's a bit of, perhaps, did you ever have any self-questioning?
No.
No, beautiful. That's totally
No.
inspired. Fantastic. And that's
Because I knew it would work. If
Yes.
Tesla did it, I could do it. And it's
yes,
just a matter of keeping at it.
yes.
It's not easy.
No,
There's no shortcuts, and it's not easy. And if you're looking for an easy lifestyle, this is not it.
no. Excellent. Wow. And you have this all now together, set up at your in a place at home, or
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. In my lab, yes. Mhm.
Yeah, fantastic. And I guess the research and the learning hasn't stopped.
No, it will never stop.
No.
Every day is an education. Today I was researching 4 hours specifically on bacteria and different types of bacteria that I should be able to eradicate, break apart. Science is unending. If
Yes.
if you think you'll ever run out of work, you're wrong.
No.
So it's if you have a work ethic, this is the right place to be. If you're lazy, don't venture no further.
Yeah. And this is so fantastic to be hearing this, because and it fits so well with my idea of this podcast is to show mainstream, be it science, the medical world, can work so alongside alternate or complementary life force chi using practices to bring about
Yes.
ultimate health. And we so need to be walking that, the yin yang symbol, to be walking that line that's in between it, because they work together so well.
Yes,
Yeah, fantastic.
you're absolutely right.
Yeah, well done. One of the phrases that I've, in my reading and researching what you do, that you use is around illness is merely losing light. So illness is merely losing light. So when we lose a bit of our light, be it through stress, negative experiences, we can begin to see illness or ill health unfold with us. Can you share with us here, with listeners, a bit about how this light or chi force healing is a way to healing?
Yeah. I believe it's divine. Scalar energy is divine light. It's from God. And if you possessed 100% divine light from God, you can never be sick.
Yes.
You could not even age. Well, you would be God, but obviously I cannot do that.
No.
So what am I doing? I'm capturing some of God's light, and I'm able to impart some of this divine light.
Yes.
And in so doing, I can improve the human condition, both people and animals.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh, and what are some of the experiences you've seen just with yourself and perhaps your family or those, loved ones around you that you would have started somewhere with sharing this God source with others?
When I first started experimenting, I was experimenting with bacteria, and I was able to work with people now remotely by way of their photograph. These instruments work by way of emailed photographs. You don't come to me for a session. I work with only your photographic force field. And I was able to work with people around the world with photographs initially. And I've never stopped that protocol. So that in and of itself is customized. It's different. That's my unique approach.
Yes. Yeah. So that was actually one of my questions later on. That you don't even have to be in the room.
Right.
We've got we've got what you're doing with your scalar energy and how other healers send the life force energy through the practices that they do. So for listeners who are just tuning in and perhaps even just started their journey to an alternate or another way of being, can you help perhaps clarify or just bring some sense of understanding to how that actually works? Just a photograph?
Mm-hmm. So this is my photograph. It has energy. It carries a signature of energy. All photographs have energy. Energy signatures are on the photograph. Now, with that in mind, when I place this photograph inside the instrument, the scalar energy instrument will look at the energy signature and then find that person by way of their photograph.
Yes.
So this is an information system. It works like a satellite. If this is my cell phone, a satellite can find my cell phone. Well, my instrument is the satellite, and it can find people by way of a photograph.
Yes.
This is the new science of scalar energy. And then in so doing, I'm able to download information into a person's photograph. I'm able to tell the bacteria in the photograph to break apart. So I don't work with people. I work with their energy code. Or their body double, or their bilocated version.
Yes.
Your photograph is your copy. So instead of working with people, I work with the energy domain or the force field, the quantum field of a photograph. And I tell the bacteria, I send energy into the photograph, instructing the bacteria to dissolve or break apart or fragment. That's the easy way to do things. Without chemicals, without drugs, without surgery. Only through a photograph. It's a simple, easy way to work.
Yes, and I understand, and the exchange of energy, and we're all unique. We all have our own unique footprint or energy print, don't we? Soul print, which that is just fabulous. So every actual photograph that you're using, the scalar energy is doing its individual thing for everybody.
Exactly. Now, if this is a divine energy from God, then it's God's intelligence. It doesn't need my intelligence. So this is what I discovered. Once I place the photograph in the instrument, the energy is healing. I don't heal.
Yes.
It's God's energy that heals.
Yes.
Through the representation of a photograph. So it's divine energy. It's self-directed. The energy does the healing. All I have to do is have the instrument capable of holding that energy, of, if you will, controlling that energy.
Yes. Yeah. controlling for the purpose of healing.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Because it is such a life, that the life force energy in itself, God source from the stars, as you said, and the sun, is
Yes.
powerful in itself. It's without form, so it hasn't got the restrictions of our physical realm, our physical body.
You're right.
So it needs to be one, like, individually directed and at a level right for the individual.
You're right. It doesn't have specific shape. It's omnipresent.
Yes. Yeah.
It doesn't have one specific shape or form.
Yes.
It's the omnipresence of God.
Yes.
So we're tapping into the gift of the Holy Spirit. We're tapping into the God force.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic.
The God force is what we're tapping into.
Yes. Yeah. Amazing. And what were some of there must have been well, there might not have been, because it just sounds all natural, processes for you. That moment when you said, right, I'm going to turn this on. Did you?
Yeah.
Tell me that experience.
Yeah. I first started my experimentation with scalar energy instruments in 1993. It's a long time ago.
Yes.
And only in the past 11 years did I decide to create a website. It took me that long to study and to understand what I'm doing.
Yes.
From 1993, say to the year 2010.
Yeah.
And it took me a good 15 years to theorize and to work with the energy and make improvements. And only in the past 10, 11 years have I brought this out to the general public.
Yeah.
And that's what it takes sometimes. It takes a lot of time to study this. And you really have to become a disciple.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
You have to know how this energy behaves, and you have to know how you can control it. Now, it's taken me years to understand the nature of scalar energy,
Yes.
and then how to use it, how to broadcast it.
Yes.
It's not just a matter of placing your photograph inside an instrument. No,
No.
it's like a musical instrument. You can pick up a musical instrument and pluck the strings. That's meaningless.
Yes. You got to. It's right. I can understand, and such dedication and patience you must have had, because within your very core, you would have known the benefits that's there. But in saying that, you probably would have also known the power of it. So, as much as you would like to have pressed the button back in, all that time ago, it could have actually had the impact of opposite, because of its force in a powerful, loving way. So to be able to maintain it and allow it to be able to reach a person at the right frequency, I mean, a frequency amongst frequencies, because I would imagine, well, the God force energy would know exactly how to get in and work on that bacteria.
Yeah.
You don't want to pass someone away and never have them come back, do you?
See, that's the key. It's an energy that you have to control and you have to understand. How do you use this?
Yes.
Well, it took me years to understand how to control this energy and how to use it to destroy, to break apart a microorganism.
Yes.
It was rather sophisticated at first. Now it's straightforward. Now I've worked with that thousands of times.
Yes.
So what am I getting at? This is not electricity. It doesn't behave like electricity. It's scalar energy. Is from the sun, from the stars. And you have to learn, first of all, how this energy behaves. Then you have to learn how to, if you will, broadcast it or send it out or administer it, so to speak.
Yes.
And then after you learn how to administer this energy, then you have to learn how to instruct this energy.
Yes. Yeah.
How do you instruct this energy? What do you do to make it effective?
Yes.
So you put all that together. It's a lot of work. And everything has to be perfect.
Yes.
Everything just has to be in its perfect place and time, and it will work.
Yeah. And does.
The instrument has to be running perfectly. The instructions have to be perfect. The delivery, the actual execution of these instructions has to be imperfect.
Yes.
And if that's the case, they'll have a perfect outcome.
Yes, yes. And what was that trial period like for you?
I made mistakes.
Yes. Yeah.
I experimented a great deal, and I saw what would work and what did not work.
Yeah.
The best success I've ever had, Sharon, is when I use, here's a photograph of, say, the herpes virus.
Oh, yeah.
I would take photographs of germs, microbes, and place them inside the scalar energy instrument. And every time I placed a photograph of the germ, microbe in the instrument, I could destroy that germ.
Okay.
So I have a 100% success rate when I'm using photographs of microbes, germs.
Yes.
And I stick to that now.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only method that I use. There are other methods, but they're not quite as effective.
Yes.
Some not effective whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I instruct the instrument to destroy the herpes virus by placing a photograph of the herpes virus inside the instrument. Now, if that sounds out of character and different and avant-garde, well,
Hey, the proof is in the fact that it works. You know,
it works.
results are results.
Yes, it is avant-garde. Yes, it is different.
Yeah.
But this is the approach that works.
Yeah.
And, you know, to speak to that point, when you introduce, if you want to destroy a microorganism, you should introduce the energy code of that microorganism.
Yes.
And that's what I'm doing. I instruct my instrument and I tell my instrument to destroy the energy code of the molecular bonds.
Okay.
But everything is done by way of photographic recognition. So a photograph of a microbe will send energy into my photograph as a person.
Yes.
In other words, the download of energy of herpes is sent into my photograph as a human being. So it's a photograph of a microbe sent into a photograph of a person.
Whoa,
You might say to yourself,
no, that's because I was just
that's what works.
Yeah.
After all of these years, that's what works.
Yeah, absolutely. And well done you for persisting to get all that information to see the difference between working and not working, and wanting to perfect, because healing, we need to perfect that to share it with other people. Do you keep, just out of my curiosity, when you work on these different bacterias, viruses, are you able to see whether, like the herpes one you just done then, is the imprint or the energy pattern of that the same in every perhaps person that may suffer with that, or so
Yes.
there it is?
It has to be. It's identical. In other words, if it's a species of a microorganism, everybody has that same signature if you have that infection.
Yes.
And that's why this is effective. One photograph of the herpes virus would allow me to eradicate herpes in everybody in the United States or Australia or the world for that matter.
Yes. So can you, I know you said you need to have the photographs of people in the machine.
Yes.
Is there a future, or is it already happening, or already working on being able to direct that scalar energy just out to the planet, say?
Yeah. In order to be effective, you need a photograph of a person,
Right. Yes.
an animal, and a plant.
More directed.
So
Yeah.
we can take a photograph of one person,
Yes.
or sometimes people will send me collages.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Okay, so today I had probably 200,000 photographs. Many of them were collages. So I treated 200,000 people today. But
Wow.
keep in mind, I only treat their energy code on a photograph.
Yes.
I don't treat people.
Yes.
This is the new science in which you can access a person by way of their photographic representation.
Yes, because basically at the end of the day, the human temple is the house of the unique energy pattern, which emits out of the body, which is captured in the photo.
Yes.
Yes, beautiful. How powerful is that?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
you see how wonderful this is.
Yes, no wonder you had 200,000 people that you could do today.
Yeah, now consider that statement. 200,000 people in my instrument by way of their photograph.
Yes.
Imagine if I had to go to 200,000 people around the world and provide this session. You could not do that efficiently.
Exactly. No, you'd be exhausted.
So it's my belief that in the future we'll eventually work with a million people a day and then 2 million people. And one of my goals is to be able to treat 1 billion people a year.
Oh,
1 billion people a year.
And I'll share that goal with you. And let's
please help me get this out, especially to Asia, especially to the Pacific Rim. I live in the United States.
Yes. The more this gets out there, the scale of the healing that's available is just phenomenal. It's wonderful.
It is. That's this. You're right. The scale of potential is just phenomenal.
Yes.
You know, whereas one clinic can wait on 50 or 100 people a day.
Yes.
My clinic will be able to work with 5 million people a day.
Yes. Yes. Do you have multiple machines, or is it?
Yeah, I have multiple machines. Yes.
Yes. Wonderful. And I just think that would be so fantastic to get up in the morning, get your photographs, stick them in the machine, and here you go, lovely divine people. Here's your healing.
Yeah, that's my daily routine.
Yeah.
I'm very blessed.
Yes.
On any given day, I'm working between 3 or 4 hours in my laboratory. I've worked with as many as 500,000 people in one day.
Yes.
It's a blessing.
It's fantastic. It certainly is.
Yeah.
And just for listeners and our viewers, you have a few different sessions that are available on your website. You've got the standard Scalar session, which incorporates the 3 pillars of life. I just wonder if you can explain a bit about that, the benefits.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Everybody in the world, we offer them free sessions, 15 days of free sessions to try what we're doing, to sample it. And by that, I mean, if you go to the website, you'll be able to sign up for the standardized sessions, which includes the microorganism cleanse, the pathogenic cleanse, the chakra balancing, and the nutrient program. That's the trinity of healing. So we're able to eradicate microorganisms, germs, microbes from the body, balance the 7 chakras, and we're able to create over 300 nutrients, micronutrients. All of that is done by way of a person's photograph. You don't have to visit a clinic. So we very firmly believe that this is going to be the energy of the healing, energy healing, and that this will be the future for many people, for the hallmark, if you will, of wellness. This will be the gold standard of energy healing.
Yes, absolutely. And I was going to mention the 15-day trial that's on your website. And listeners, please check this out. I will have your website details, and I'll ask for some more information in a moment. I'll have that contact information at the beginning of the podcast in the written intro. So please check out Tom's website, because I'm actually now on day 6 of your free trial, and we were speaking earlier, and I am quite a conscious energy sensor or energy healer, but I can feel the difference in energy within me. And I was mentioning to you, Tom, and listeners, about how a particular time of the day I just felt this rise, and the rise was within, when you mentioned the chakras, because it's one of my favorite energy systems to use to help with healing, and so familiar with the chakras, and that vibration that was moving up and down me. I think this is, something's clearing or cleansing the Sushumna, the higher, where all the chakras feed their energy into. And I thought, wow, this is only day 6. And for me, it was the uplift of energy from, and this was sort of, as I was saying, for me later in the day, which corresponds to when you probably got my photo in your Scalar machine. And so, that's for me when you talk about giving back the zest of life.
Yes.
That term I can even in this 6 days I can relate to. But there's other things, like people can experience better sleep from this program that you do.
Yeah, when you're balancing the brain waves in the 7 chakras, invariably people sleep a very deep, uninterrupted sleep, and many times they'll have vivid dreams because you're connecting back to God. This energy connects you back to God, who's the fountainhead of scalar energy. Yeah. And in so doing, you're going to go back to a more normal, natural lifestyle, which is sleeping. Yeah. Not to sleep is unnatural.
No.
So we're going to see that our biorhythms are changed and corrected. Our brain waves are changed and corrected. Changed to what extent? Brought back to harmony,
Yes.
brought back to coherence. So if this is perfect energy, perfect light, it should produce perfect thinking, perfect mind,
Yes.
perfect coherence.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's one of the gifts, to go back to God, to go back to perfection.
Yes, and it's the term that just popped into my mind through conversation, as things do, is it's also a really fantastic and immediate way of returning us back to our original divine blueprint,
Yes.
our original source of energy, which is the divine cosmic consciousness, Christ consciousness, God, whoever, whatever your terminology do. Yes, okay, I can see that, and I'm excited that I have connected with it going through the Shushumna, because that is where we've got one of the Brahmanadi, which is our straight connection to Christ consciousness. Fantastic work you're doing there. Come on, people, you got to get on and use it. So yes, wow.
You hit the nail on the head. Since we're connecting directly to God, and this is God's energy, then it has a profound effect, because nothing can stand in the way between God and the person.
No. Yeah.
That's what I love. Whereas other healing methods, they're not a direct communication from God, from God's energy.
Yes.
That doesn't, I'm not disparaging,
No.
but they're not the pure light of God.
Yes. Yeah. And why not have that as a contract, or a soul contract, human contract, to give to our light force, our light body, back to perfection in frequency and vibration, because being energy, light energy, it is affected by so many different things around us. We've got electromagnetic fields that pull us energetically from one moment to another. And why not be able to come and walk our path here on the earth plane with that pure, our original and unique code within us. The path of peace for what we give ourselves and humanity in the world, which is just amazing.
The great scientist Nikola Tesla was giving this energy away to mankind. He was giving away as free energy. He wanted scalar energy to be used throughout the world, and he wanted to end the energy crisis. Well, that's one of my goals also. This is energy from the sun and the stars.
Yes.
And this energy is going to liberate mankind.
Yes. Yeah.
This energy is going to be our free energy of the future. So important to realize these concepts.
Yes.
That's where we're going with this. And this is, if you will, the prospect ahead.
It was huge.
There's so many gifts that are incorporated in this energy, this scalar energy paradigm. Whatever we're doing with electricity, we can do much better with scalar energy.
Yes, yeah. So you've touched on it, the future. What are you working on anything in particular that you can share with us for the future of scalar energy?
I hope God gives me the wisdom to create a free energy machine, so that I could take energy and deliver it at a distance. So you would not need an electrical station. You would not need, if you will, a wind turbine. You could simply just, through the atmosphere, deliver energy. So we would have a free source of energy from the stars, and then we would distribute it to anybody in the world.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, what would that mean? It would mean everybody then would have their access to free energy, free, clean energy. We would no longer have an energy crisis.
Yes. Yeah. Fantastic. Wow. And so you're working on that, and I know your determination, and you, from what you've already done to here, I really look forward to that being something that unfolds, and certainly please let me know so I can let listeners know.
I think within the next 10 to 15 years, God will give me the wisdom, because I'm getting close, but it's just simply not perfect yet.
Yes.
But I know it's tenable. I know it's possible.
Yes. Well, and from just what you've, not just, that's the wrong word, from what you've seen with the magic that you're already creating, and I mean 200,000 people in one day,
Right.
You are. I mean, it's that Confucius, that old saying, slowly gets your monkey, but slowly to me is the greatest foundation. I mean, 200,000 people is not slow. You're growing and you're growing. So soon you will have your billion in a year.
We will. And then the world will say, well, how did this all take place? Well, it took place 10, 15 years ago, to speak to your point, slowly.
Yeah.
If you keep at this incrementally, it's amazing what is achieved 1 year, going on another. You can do so much.
Absolutely.
And this is my approach. We're a grassroots effort, and we just keep at it slowly, but it works.
Yes.
It works.
Yeah, and within that, strength will build because people will talk about the experiences that they've had with it and the great.
Yes.
Who doesn't want to feel great?
Yeah.
We all want to be having that peaceful mindset and healthy body. So.
And that's all the word of mouth that you would ever need, and it's all people power.
Yes.
I can't accentuate that enough. This is a grassroots movement.
Yeah.
And
wonderful.
the people carry it.
Yes.
The people carry this movement.
Yes. Excellent. Oh, so how can viewers, listeners find out more, get in contact with you, register for that free trial? Share that with us now.
Sure. The website is scalarlight.com, SCALAR, scalarlight.com. Visit the website. You can send an email your photograph and the photograph of your entire family members, including your pets, your dogs, your cats. We'll treat everybody for free for 15 days. We'll eradicate pathogens, germs, we'll balance your chakras, and we'll deliver nutrients. And then after 15 days, you decide how you feel. See, it's so important when you're working with a new science, you have to present it to people. And that's what the 15-day trial does. The 15-day trial shows people the merit. It proves it's demonstrable. And that's the whole point with a new science. You have to prove it to people. Once you prove it to people, then it's off to the races, so to speak. But you have to prove it.
Yes. And what a generous offering with that 15-day trial. And as I said, I'm only in day 6. And I can already feel that magnificence for me through the chakra system. And I know for me, if my chakra system is vibrating healthily, the rest of me is. So I thank you for even having that 15-day trial available. So listeners, please check out the website. And the other thing I want to say, it's a very easy process to sign up for. So it's just click the button, fill your details in, upload your photo, and that's it. So it's not complicated. Everybody, please do yourselves a favor and just upload a photo. We've all got a photo on our systems, whether it's the phones or our computers. Send it through and treat yourself to this magnificent experience. And thank you so much for persevering and having that from such a young age to walk through what you've had to walk through to get where you are now. Because I have no doubt it hasn't been easy because it is new science.
It's not.
No.
It's not easy, but with people like you, that's why it's thank you for your appreciation. And that's why it works.
Yes.
You're not going to get this to work with big business. It only works with people. So thank you, Sharon, for seeing this and for acknowledging my effort. And that's why this is going to succeed, because of people like you.
Thank you. And keep going. As I said, I look forward to the unfolding because such a bright understanding and clear focus helps to get it out there and for any advancement that's coming.
Yeah. We're going to end the HIV epidemic. We're going to end this epidemic for herpes. We have the easy way to eradicate those germs.
Oh, fantastic. So, thank you so much, Tom, for joining me here on the Better Way of Being. I do wish you great success. I know with like energy, may energy flow to those billions, and then it's that network of scalar energy through photos. May it just grace the world and the planet so that we can all together have a collective scalar energy healing emitting to everybody. Thank you so much. And as I said, listeners, I will put your contact details in this, and let's get going with this wonderful healing.
I appreciate the fact that you see the gigantic picture here, and how in the future we will work with 1 billion people a year,
Yes,
and those people will have God's healing.
yes. Thank you so much.
God bless.
God bless.